And up the mic goes. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm at it again with some more shoutcasting. The crucial difference for this one and the last one is I'm about to mute my phone. Alright, cool. So, this is going to be a blind pick game, custom game. Once again, I'm doing the Techtonic viewer game. And I actually am so proud I set this one up myself and all that good stuff. So, let's see how it goes. So, the way Kiwi Kim does this, that is Techtonic, who is on the blue team on this side, is she will pick just whatever is available. She'll fill, and everyone else on the team will pick whatever they're comfortable with, and she will just fill on whatever else. And it looks like we're seeing some pretty colorful picks so far. Of course, this is a blind pick, so it's not like there's draft or there's, anyone can see anybody else's picks. But this is going to be a really interesting game, and I'm looking forward to seeing how all the picks go. As Tech is still trying to pick a champion, and looks like she will pick the Tryndamere. The Warwick at the last minute. Alright, so looks like we have a Karma Graves bot lane, Singed top, Warwick in the jungle? Did she change to Smite? Yes, she did. Okay, so Techtonic will be playing in the jungle, and then Zed's going to be the mid lane. So in the opposite time, on the purple team, we have Nidalee in the jungle, we have Sona, Jinx in the bot lane, we have Dark Champion playing that Veigar in the mid lane, and then Long Shlong PhD, oh god, I love that name, is playing Jax in the top lane. So as the top lane matchup goes, it's going to be on Jax to just destroy Singed early on, and that's no easy task. But if Jax can do it, he wins that lane, and he's going to set Singed so far behind that he won't be able to get tanky. He won't be able to get tanky fast enough for it to matter in teamfights. That's going to be Jax's #1 priority in that lane. I hate Jax's when I play Singed. And yeah, so that's one of the few matchups that that's one of the few off-meta picks that I'm actually familiar with right now, is Singed, because Looper Singed is just so godly to watch. And yeah, and I actually love the champion, and I'll go off on a tangent about that later. So bot lane, Karma Graves is a really strong poke lane. Oh my god, there's so much poke in that lane, it is ridiculous. But it is also a very close range lane in comparison to, say, well, I guess Jinx Sona is kind of too, but Jinx Sona actually has the advantage of being sustaining. So it's going to be up to Houseplant and Dig in Your Grave to keep that pressure going the entire time. They have to keep that pressure, and they actually have to have a lot of wards, because that Nidalee jungle can just poke out of nowhere. They have to have some really nice ward coverage down there, or they're going to get caught out by Nidalee every single time, because they have to push up to be effective. And I guess they could freeze it, but after a while, you're going to be buckshotting a bunch of minions. You can't really freeze the lane effectively as Graves. So there's that. In the mid lane, there's a Zed versus a Veigar, and Zed should have this in the bag, to be perfectly honest. Zed should 100% have this. Like, there's no way that Zed doesn't have this. The only way I could see him not having this is if he doesn't, like, properly apply pressure onto Dark Champion. Veigar needs a bit of time to farm and to get big, and Zed doesn't, being an assassin, but Veigar scales way better into the late game than Zed does, in my opinion, especially with the exhaust on the enemy team. So that's my 2 cents on the lanes. In team fights, this is an incredibly all-in composition here on the blue team. Like, they've got Zed, they've got Karma, they've got Graves, they've got Warwick, they've got whoever they're Singed. They have Singed. I was gonna say whoever their top laner was, but wow, that's kind of BM. And then, so they're all in. They have to make sure they don't clump up for the Sona ultimate, because if they clump up for the Sona ultimate, then they're still clumped up, and they're gonna go against the Jinx rocket. They're gonna go against the Nidalee spears. They're gonna go against all this. They're gonna go against, crucially, the Event Horizon from Vhagar, and that's gonna be like the death knell. And then they also have to worry about Jax. Jax can just jump in, potentially do a lot of damage because he's tanky as hell. So those are the key points for this game. Um, I would play passive heck. I would play very passive if I was the red team, and just kind of disengage whenever there's poke, because there's a lot of good tools on the red team to disengage. They have Nidalee being Nidalee. They have Jinx, the traps. She doesn't have like her own dash or whatever, but she does have traps, and those will keep people at bay if applied properly. There's Vhagar's Event Horizon. There's Jax's Counter Strike, and uh, Marble Kick has a speed boost and a and the ultimate, the Crescendo. So it's an engage comp versus a disengage comp, and it's going to be very interesting to watch how it plays out, because typically the engage comp will eventually engage you and win. And but it's not all is not lost by any stretch of the imagination here. So if you're watching this on my YouTube, thank you for looking at my YouTube, first of all. But I will also link Techtonic's Twitch, and I will also link her Tumblr and her Twitter. So if you guys want to look at that, the social media will be under the video in the description. Techtonic is one of my featured streamers. I really enjoy how she interacts with her I guess community, because she does kind of have a community. She has about 50 viewers as I'm watching this, as I'm spectating this. I'm actually a mod for her, so I have that going for me too. That's another reason why I enjoy being around her, because she obviously enjoys my judgment calls because I'm a mod. And I really like the message that she gives to everybody, which is, be a positive player. Don't be that D-bag that you see in solo queue, And crucially, she's actually has a skill to come into it. She is Diamond 1, or she was Diamond 1 last season. She's currently Diamond 5, and she's climbing. I think she actually just lost her provisionals today. I'm sorry, Tech. That was pretty rough. But yeah. So social media will be on the bottom after this matchup. You feel free waiting on Marble Kick to load up, but I believe Marble Kick just loaded, and we should be on the Rift in just a moment. I'm seeing not a lot of skins. Let's see. I see the team foreskin at the bot and the red team, but not much else otherwise. So let me move these icons around real quick. Actually, that's how it is. Jinx, Vhagar. Alright, cool. There we go. Okay, this stream, the spectator client's a little weird sometimes. It's like, because on the bar it looks like I have it fast forwarded a little bit, but I actually don't. So it's like, oh, okay, you don't have it fast forwarded. Good job, you. So we're about to start. I expect pretty standard starts. And here, I'm gonna actually, because I really like the community. You guys are gonna look at your chat when you do this. Okay. So I trust the community not to be super BM or toxic or whatever, so I'm gonna do that. Yeah. So we're gonna have pretty standard starts here. I don't think there's going to be any like heavy invades, if any. But there are 3 people stacked around the mid lane, with Kiwi Kim chief among them, actually in the lane. So we'll see how that happens, but I don't think anything's going to come of it. Yeah, and everybody has pretty much normal items. Both bot lane supports. Any tips for Jax versus Singed? LOL Techtonic. Aw, that's great. Apologize if you hear the ice. I'm drinking. So, for Jax versus Singed, and I'll say it here, I'm not Techtonic, but I do have experience in the matchup. You want to harass, you want to just avoid, you want to obviously avoid the poison trails as Singed, or as Jax I should say. You want to avoid the poison trails and attack him because he will run out of mana. It's only it's a matter of when, but he will run out of mana. And you're just like that, just like Long Shlong is doing. You want to harass him as much as you can and just knock his head in. Oh my goodness, that... Oh. A little bit of harassing going back and forth between the supports in the bot lane. At first it looked like Karma was winning that, but then she... Oh, see, here, and I'll get back to that in a sec, but it looks like... See, both of them hit level 2 at around the same time, but Long Shlong didn't hit level 2 first, so it was a little bit of a mist. But it is kind of hard to CS around a Singed, so that's understandable. It's a little bit of that intimidation, I'll say. And look, that's exactly what you don't want to allow as a Singed. You don't want to let him jump strike you. What you want to do is you want to let him use his jump strike on a minion, because inevitably a Jax, if he sees that the lane's being passive, will use the jump strike on a minion to grab that extra CS. Look, he did it again. Like, he might actually die from this one. No, he's gonna burn his ghost, but there's a flash being burned, and he'll be alright. Flash burned. Ghost burned. I think if Singed can get an ignite going, if he can do it in time, he can win the fight. And there's the poison. There is a counter strike, and first blood goes to Jax, just like that. So, like I said, you want to wait for him to use his oh, there's a nice trap going back on the... Oh, that was rough. That missed. That if that Q hit, it would have told them to back off, Jinx and Tona, but if it didn't, so that's unfortunate. Anyway, as I was saying, you want to let Jax use that jump strike onto a minion to get that CS, because inevitably they will, and there's a rocket that's going to hit Karma, and they're just not going to want me to talk about that matchup. And after he hits the minion, immediately when he hits that minion, you want to fling poison and then run right around his minions and run back to your minions. That's how you want to win. That's how you win every trade as Singed versus Jax. If you don't do exactly that, you're going to run the risk of him doing exactly what Long Shalong did here, where he he actually prepped his counter strike first, which is really smart of him. He preps the counter strike and then he jump strikes, because that forces Singed to either use a summoner or get stunned 100%. And in some cases do both. Oh, there's a stun going down onto Hakuna Matata, and that actually is the dead. That is the dead Decamulti 2015. So a similar case going on here. Not really applying so much pressure onto the Veigar. Veigar, if he can... A smart Veigar, early levels, will use that Q to harass. Like, you actually don't want to use it to farm. Zed counters Veigar, say hello to the Hispanic White Mage. Oh my god, that is amazing. You actually don't want to use your I believe it's his Baleful Strike to engage, or I'm sorry, to farm up like you would like a Nasus. You want to use it to use it to harass actually, because okay, cool, you make some mana in the early game, but you don't actually do much else with it. Like you're not doing any damage to him, and if you crucially if you shove a Zed out of lane, or if you do just like Veigar did here and just outright kill him, you have more time to freefarm that Q than you would if you were just doing the trade itself. If you're just Q farming. So, like I said, Veigar. Oh, turret shot. That's unfortunate. Gonna miss the Q. Going to miss the event horizon. Oh no. Hit the event horizon. I am getting Veigar's skills messed up. Good poke going down from the bot lane, but it's not enough. Karma's pretty underleveled right now. Oh, that is some damage coming down, and Graves might actually fall, and there's Ray Foric taking him out. There's Karma tearing the shield away, but that's a double kill for Jinx. I think at this point they're just not respecting the sustain that Sona brings, as well as the damage Jinx can, the DPS that Jinx can do with Fishbones. I'm sorry, I got those guns mixed up. I'm trying to seem like a cool analyst, but there goes Nidalee coming in, somehow missed the pounce. And there's Singed popping his ultimate. Missing everything actually. Good ultimate from Singed and good usage of it, getting away. And so I know the problem that Singed is doing. He's not actually he's not laughing while he uses his poison trail. So that's how he loses that 100% of the time. And there we go. Okay, so back to this. Looks like for builds, interestingly enough, Dark Champion actually has Swifties. I'm not quite sure why he has Swifties, but he's winning lane, so I'm not going to question it. If it helps him to get to his targets faster, or if it helps him to catch up with Nidalee when Nidalee is engaging a target, by all means do it. I kind of want to ask him about it, but I don't think I'm going to get the chance. So I'm doing a little bit of vision control here in the is Warwick AFK? Yes, Warwick is AFK. I haven't seen his face yet. It's almost like he's a level 6 jungler or something. Mia's going down, but and yeah, her face. Well, I mean, Warwick is a guy, Tech is a girl. It's that's gray area to me. Because both statements would be correct. But yeah, they are. Everybody's right. Oh, see, Osrit is actually listening to me here. That's exactly how you do it. No, Warwick is a wolf. That's how you do it. You wait for him to use his jump strike. You fling him and look, not quite like that. Jump strike. Well, I guess counter strike was down. That was smart. But that's how you do it. 100% of the time. Zed's going in with his own ultimate, and there it goes. And there's Infinite Duress going down. Hakuna Matata will pick up that kill. Jax somehow picking up a kill from certain death, actually. And that was great. That was a good fight. From Jax. That was good awareness on his part. I deserve that like a cheap hooker. Yeah, Sage got a little greedy there. He could have had it if he was away from turret, but he would have it still would have been pretty risky. Karma trying to queue up, but the problem with this lane is that Karma offers no sustain. If it was Nami, if it was another Sona, if it was anybody else with a heal, probably would have been okay. If it was Nami, that would have been really strong. That lane is super strong. But while Karma is pokey, she offers no sustain, and that's kind of what is in right now. Alright, so Sage doing the smart thing here and farming up minions and just kind of farming up with the poison trail. That's cool, but you still need... Well, I guess there's nobody there. Yeah, Jax is just dunking that guy. Sage is build a slightly tanky, but that empowered strike is just doing work. Like I actually think if Warwick doesn't gank this top lane, that Finch is just gonna die just like that. Oh my goodness, Jax is on a killing spree and hasn't even left lane yet. Singe needs to get big really fast, or he's gonna be in a world of pain. And there goes Jax making the roam to the bot lane, but Zed sees him. Zed is aware of his presence. There's a shadow going down, misses both of them. There's the death mark, flashes out very intelligently, and everyone's gonna be fine. Oh, see, that's the poke I'm talking about from Karma Graves. You have to keep using that, or you're just going to... Oh no. Oh boy. Oh, that's not good. There is a nice engage going down from Long Shlong, and that's what happens when you sit on a ward. So Jax is 4-0 right now. He needs to just go back, and he can probably afford his Trinity Force right now. Bad trophy. Yeah, I think he can afford it. Oh, there's a trap. And Karma's taking some damage. Oh my goodness, Long Shlong coming down. Shut down from Kiwi Kim. I didn't even get to see that whole thing, but there's a rocket going down. Rampage from Jinx. And Kiss My Pancake getting another kill onto Graves. I was all chatting meanie. Pro tip, if you keep your eyes off the prize, you're going to lose the prize. Alright, so Ashrit doing the smart thing here. Gonna do a little bit of farming from between turrets. That's what's known as proxying the wave. It was really popularized by Korean players, I think. I don't know. It was probably, I'm going to assume it's Korean players because they're just so far ahead of the meta. Back when top laners were like the premier person, or the tanky top laners were the premier tank top laners. That's not so true anymore. The meta's busted wide open, but back then it was. Alright, so Singed. It popped his ultimate. He can't really do much with it. He flung Jax the wrong way, unfortunately. There's an Ignite going down. Mini damage won't be enough. Mini damage will not be enough, unfortunately. But he can try and fling again. There it is. There's a jump strike. Like, every time he flings him, Jax is there with the jump strike, and eventually it might work. But he has very little armor, and actually, those minions are actually doing a lot of work to Jax. But here comes Veigar with a little bit of a roam. But there's a fight going on here in the bot lane, and there's a lot of poke going down. There's a rocket going down onto Graves. Jinx will get it. Dark Champion taking out Singed. Kills all over the map. So like I said, you really have to be cautious about if the stun misses, press R. You have to really be cautious about where you are, especially as Singed, because Singed has no like dashy escape. He has his ghost, and he has the Hakuna Matata again. Not where you want to be right now. Oh, nice death mark to avoid the damage, but he's still going to fall. Missed Sona ult, but I don't think it's going to be crucial to the next 3 minutes whenever it comes up. A lot of blue team's faults are just being caught out of position, and Kiwi Kim can only buy 3 wards. And here comes the first dragon of the game going towards the red team. They're just like pub stomping right now. Oh, there's Singed, caught out of position again. But he is pretty beefy at this for this period of the game. He's pretty big. But Nidalee just got a pounce, and we'll take out Singed. Oh, that's not good. Oh, never mind. They're just gonna let him be. Will you land another spear? No, just barely. I see the poor awards. Good use of sweeper. Spear hits, but nothing much is gonna happen from it. Trap hits, but again, nothing much is gonna happen from it, except another trap comes down. Like that trap was largely irrelevant to the grand scheme of things, and it will continue to be. We see Nidalee taking that red, but they're just trading reds at this point. That's actually pretty funny. Kiwi came over on the red side red buff and going to take it out. Looks like Jax is there, and he does see, but the damage has already been done. Long Schlong, pretty big actually, but the Chilling Smite will hit, and I think, nope, Jax will pick that up on Kiwi Kim. Oh, Kiss My Pancake in a hard place right now. Ignite taking. Graves will get a double kill because he did get a kill earlier that I didn't get to commentate on because Kiwi Kim was on the red buff. Anyway, there we go. Veigar gonna try and Event Horizon. There it is. And bam. Nothing. Sage is starting to get decently big, but he doesn't have any damage right now because he doesn't have any AP. He has a little bit of armor, but he opted for Swifties instead of Ninja Tabi, which probably would have done him a little better because there are no slows on the enemy team. Like it's that stun just barely missed. That stun was like a hair from actually interrupting that recall. So that was a little rough on Veigar's part, but I mean, he's pretty big, so I don't think he really minds. And in fact, him and Zed have inverse KDAs. Zed is 1-3-1, Veigar is 3-1-3. He actually bought a Twin Shadows, which is actually a pretty interesting purchase. I see the theoretical applications. I'm not sure how it'll work in the long run, but I mean, it's a good tool for slowing people down, which would actually make Singed Swifties useful. See, unlike Singed's enemy team, Veigar's enemy team actually does have slows. Oh, he wants to get that kill onto... Oh, he missed the collateral damage and he needed to back out right now. That's rough. There's an exhaust going down. Jinx is just going to slowly but surely take out Karma unless that slow hits. There's the rocket. Ray Foric is dominating. That is a 6-0-1 Jinx, and... I see that Jinx built defensively. If you're 6-0-1, you don't need to build defensively. There's no two ways about it. You don't need to build defensively at all. You're just way ahead of the curve. Everyone's gonna just, fight you, or not gonna do anything to you. Kiwi Kid picking up a kill onto Long Shlong while I was talking about that. Wrong place, wrong time there for Jax. That's something they can capitalize on. People getting caught out. That's something the red team's been capitalizing on pretty well. But it's also something that that the blue team can capitalize on from time to time. Alright, so... Creep scores are... it's actually dead even between Nidalee and Warwick. And they actually have a similar score as well. There's not much I can really say about them. I think Karma actually needs to work on CSing when Graves isn't there, or it's just a waste of farm. But beyond that, it looks pretty good. Everything else is pretty even, except for obviously the KDAs. Like, creep scores are pretty even across the board. Singed is pretty even with Jax, which is actually not a good thing. Oh, Long Shlong. Long Shlong's fed. There's no two ways about that. I was actually going to say Long Shlong is pretty big, which is true and a double entendre. There's a little bit of a Fnatic rush, but that's a nice 3-person ultimate, and that's actually also a good use of... Oh, that nuke out. And the heal... Oh my god, the rocket! That's exactly what I was talking about. You don't need that at all. You do not need a Quicksilver Sash when you could just do that to somebody. And that rocket was the death knell for this. That's the turret going down. This is largely one-sided, actually. So yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. You don't actually need a Quicksilver. I understand the reasoning to get it because it's fashionable when you respect your opponents, but at 7-0-3, 168 CS at 21 minutes, you don't need to respect your opponents. There's a nice fling onto Sona. That was trying for a pick, but it's not really going to do a whole lot. Jinx did a smart rotation to the mid lane and picked up that turret. And Singed is probably going to fall to Nidalee, and he does. So So, 5-22, blue team's just going to have to try and get a pick. There's no other way. They're so all in that playing against that team comp will actually do them more harm than good. They have to find the pick. Karma doing a really good job of kiting, actually. So as I was saying about Swift Boots, I would actually prefer if Singed got like armor boots or magic resist boots. I would probably prefer if he got like a merc treads, because that extra speed boost that you're getting is you're still not using the whole of the Swifties, because you're not using. Oh, there's a nice flash from Nidalee, and I think he's gonna walk off from that. But there's a nice shield actually, and he probably has his thing back up. There it is. There's a nice. Oh man, the style points with the collateral damage. Long Schlong is huge right now. He's on a rampage. I am food. Singed is starting to get big, but he has a long way to go. Anyway, as I was saying, I keep trying to talk about these Swifties. I would get armor boots, or I would probably get merc treads, because there's a lot of CC on the enemy team, and that would be so useful on Singed right now, because that helps out against the Counter-Strike, that helps out against the Event Horizon, helps out against. I don't think it actually helps out against the Sonar Ultimate. Helps out against the Flame Chompers. So it's a pretty multi-purpose tool. Buying Swifties when is just to catch somebody faster is it's not the most effective use of that item, in my opinion. I don't even build it half the time unless there are actual slows on my enemy team, or I might, if I feel like roaming, I might actually build mobility boots. But I don't actually recommend mobility boots unless I'm already ahead or really tanky. But in general, I don't actually recommend boots of swiftness unless there is like actual slows, which there are not. And oh my goodness, that damage! Nice counter engage from Sona and Veigar. That death mark is going to do very little. And oh, the Jinx rocket! Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, my food just came in. That's a poor excuse for not commentating, but you know, it is what it is. So, I don't think I missed much. Yeah, everyone's scores are pretty big still. Singed. Oh, there's a nice chilling smite there by Kiwi Kim, but it's not going to amount to much except a loss of a smite. Jax. Jax's biggest weakness is he's getting caught out a lot, which is actually, not optimal, obviously. But I mean, his team can literally afford to do that because of how far ahead they are. They're up 11,000 gold, 3 turrets, and 18 kills. So they're doing really well for themselves. See, if Jinx, I'm in yo jungle, sealing yo Gromp. If Jinx had built more damage earlier, she would have been even more ahead. But I do understand why she bought that. Oh, there's a nice counter strike there. But Singed is already pretty big. He has chain vest and armor, or he has a considerable amount of armor for this period of time in the game. And he did complete his Rod of Ages a while back, so he does have a little bit of damage. Oh, that spear. This is about par of the course for me. Oh, Singe trying to bait him into a little bit of an encounter there. Didn't really work as well as I think he would have liked it. Kiwi came from behind and just gonna. That's out of the kitchen or that's out of the flames and into the fire, or however that saying goes. Because you go away from Kiwi Kim, but you just run into a grave shotgun. Out of the oven into the fire. That's it. Okay. And look at this Jinx is so strong. Like, just oh my goodness, that Jinx is enormous. 8-0-3, Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, and I guess there's merit to building the Quicksilver Sash. I wouldn't build it. It's not my second item to build. Straight up, I would build Infinity Edge, either Static or Phantom Dancer, depending on what the mood called for. I think Phantom Dancer is actually becoming popularized again, particularly on like Jinx. And then I would build a Last Whisper, and then I would build a Quicksilver. But I'm not actually going to question that at all, because it is a solid build. It is a solid build, so it's not like it's a bad build. It's just not. It's not a build you build when you're ahead. It's typically not what you build when you're ahead, but it's still effective, especially with the crowd control that is on the side of the blue team, with Karma, and Warwick. Because as an AD carry, if you are frozen for 3 seconds, you're probably dead. Jax with a little bit of laughing there. Alright, so red team is stalling out this game for a while, but they can honestly end at their heart's content. Nidalee kind of being caught out there, but will flash out and be fine. There's a teleport coming in from Jax. Trying to get some pressure going. And Counter-Strike's actually still going. Today I learned Counter-Strike still goes, even if you're getting this... what's the word? Even if you're going like in a Warwick ultimate, it still goes out. Oh. Ghosty does hit. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but that spear will take out Zed. And there's a Jinx ult for good measure. Oh. That was for Jinx. Oh, Graves. Nidalee's not in the right spot, and digging your grave will take advantage of that. Didn't realize that was an enemy nid. Rip. Alright, so like I said, red team has this largely in the bag. They're approaching a 20k lead, and they have a ton of wiggle room for error here. I don't recommend erroring because blue team can still come back. They just, like I've been saying for a while, they need ward coverage and they need they need to get a pick. And what Karma is doing right here is not getting a pick. There's a flash. Singed, see, what Singed is doing was almost getting a pick, forcing a flash. So now Sona doesn't have flash crescendos. She says crescendo probably. Yeah, she says crescendo, but not flash crescendo. And Ray Fork is legendary. Oh, rip. Oh, no crit. There it is. Double kill for Jinx. And there's Singed again doing the thing. Singed is actually decently tanky now. He has Thornmail, he has a Kindle Gem, which may build into... Oh boy. Nope, he's gonna fall. Oh, Blade of the Ruin King gets popped, and Long Shlong will flash for it. 10, 2, and 4, Trinity Force, Frozen Heart, Merc Treads, and Blade of the Ruin King. Jax is 4 items and devastating right now. So this is the Jax that you don't want to mess with in this is the Jax you don't want to see in ranked. This is the Zion Spartan Kali Trolls Jax that just does so much damage out of nowhere, really. Like, I mean, you see the scores for on Singed and Jax, and you're like, yeah, that's why. But like, it just comes out of nowhere. You don't expect him to do a lot of damage, and then he does. Graves is trying his best to come back, but it's still a long way to go to compete with a 276 CS 10-0-3 Jinx. He has a static, which will help him clear out the waves as they approach the base. Alongside, you know, Karma and Zed and Singed. There comes Singed again. And he flips a minion. Mistakes were made. Oh, taking a turret shot, but like I said, Jax is just so tanky. He doesn't have to worry about taking turret shots. Inhibitor will go down, and so will Karma, and another Miss Sun ultimate. I think she's 1 for 3 right now. Which, it's only because, like, her team is killing people so fast, she doesn't have the reaction time to kill somebody. Or she doesn't have the reaction time to ult somebody. And Rayfork almost fell, but heal, dangerous game, and so many other things will stop that from happening. And there's Singed trying to make something happen, but still not going to happen. Oh my goodness. And, like, she does not care. Oh, she will finally fall. Shut down onto Graves, and then shut down onto Jinx. Or shut down onto Jinx. So Graves picks up some Jinx picks up a shutdown gold, and so does Graves. Karma. Oh. Nidalee just gonna heal that up and not even care. One sec, guys. I'm gonna pop my top. Alright, so we're approaching, I'm assuming we're approaching the tail end of this game, because there's not a whole heck of a lot they can do to come back from this. Like, everyone is just so big. That's 2 for 4 with ults. But Houseplant will take the kill onto the Sona, and Kiwi Kim will pick up Kiss My Pancakes. So I guess that's what you can do to try and come back. But even that's still a little difficult. Easier said than done. Definitely easier said than done. A lot of farming going down. There's only one inhibitor down so far. So blue team can still theoretically try and make something happen. Jack's lying in the wait for somebody. Probably waiting for Kiwi Kim to come by and try it out, but he does have vision. She does have vision in the area, so there. Oh, see now, see that's what I would jump strike, or that's what I would fling somebody. Oh, 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 oh my goodness, and that's what you QSS out of. You QSS out of that, and you're just DPS to death. And not only do you have a kill, but now you have a red buff, a shiny new red buff. So, Jinx is super ahead. Womp. That sound from that trophy is just so satisfying when you hear it. Like Impact, you have the best skin out of all the SKT skins. How do you feel? Oh. Singed falls. I think this is gonna be game. Singed picks up a Spirit Visage, but it's a little too late to build resistances. Like those resistances should have been built a long time ago in my estimation. But I mean, it was pretty limited what he could have done at that score. Oh, Kiwi Kim getting poked down pretty hard. Someone getting poked down too. There's a death mark going down, but I actually he will actually take out Sunham. So to say, I feel like he's gonna get the worst of it, but he will not fall. Oh. And they're starting to work on these turrets. Jinx is a hell of a turret taker, but crucially, she actually has to target them. Oh, that's rough, flashing into the event horizon. That is so rough. And that's going to be game. Red team wins this. I don't actually have a clever team name because Cecil isn't playing, so I can't just say, oh, it's the memes. But the tech team will fall, unfortunately. And that is game. Kind of a one-sided affair, like throughout the entire match. It was just capped off by the Jinx with 313 CS and the Jax that's 12, 2, and 5. It was just kind of a mess, but it's just a viewer game. It's just something to play for fun after all of the tryharding is done for the day. So with that, I'm going to leave it and upload it to YouTube and all that good stuff. So I'm Decavolti. I'm the guy that actually set up the viewer game. So you're welcome. No, I'm just kidding. You should all thank Tech for giving you the opportunity to play. And I'm out. Thank you guys for playing. Thank you for watching. All that good stuff.